Hey friends and fam, I'm Nathan. Thanks for being here. Being, presence, and balance. But I'm feeling the energy of the word balance in combination with the word fulcrum. If you know what fulcrum is the pivot point of a lever. So like there's a picture of a fulcrum. It's really the pivot point on a lever, or let's look at some other definitions, right? Fulcrum is the support about which a lever pivots. I like this image of the fulcrum because, if you have the same weight on both sides of that lever, it's balanced, right? And I'm really feeling the energy of balance, like the space in between the polarized energies and the duality and everything that we experience that's energized between the positive and the negative and the this or that the point of balance more and more to me is feeling like that point of balance, like there's not a specific point of balance, like the entire space in between what we perceive as negative and what we perceive as positive, to me is really, I'm really feeling into and exploring that every point in between is balance, is a point of balance. And I don't know, I'm really, because again, I'm really exploring the polarized dualistic spaces that we believe, or we believe this whole world depends upon. And I'm gonna be real, I don't vibe, I don't feel that. I don't feel like our world space depends upon polarity, dualized, like separate energy in order to be. And like I'm loving exploring this word fulcrum in combination with the word balance, right? So like you saw that picture that I shared, but also like some other definitions of balance, like in technical use, fulcrum refers to the support on which a lever moves when it is used to shift something. And like in figurative use, fulcrum refers to a person or thing that makes it possible for something to function or develop. Or in other words, one who plays an essential role in something. That's, that's so, and I just feel like our beings that exist in these polarized energy spaces between who thinks this, who said that energies, because that's now the space I'm talking about the polarity energy in. I just shifted to that place now in my statements here, but that every individual in that space in between these different polarized energies of polarized beliefs, ideas, thoughts, opinions, feelings, all of that, every individual is their own fulcrum. And that there is the balance between all of these positive and negatives, for me, is allowing each fulcrum to be the fulcrum. Like each point in between this perceived side of the lever and then this perceived side of the lever, I really feel that every spot in between is its own individual fulcrum and has its own individual center and has its own individual set of energy, thoughts, feelings, experiences that is its own balance. And I'm really, really practicing feeling that balance, like feeling that place. Like one more definition I'm gonna read to you about fulcrum is so So if you say someone or something is the fulcrum of an activity or situation, you mean that they have a very important effect on what happens, right? And it's also, fulcrum is also defined as the point of rest. That's the rest point for a lever. Yeah. So I'm honestly, that's my introduction to I'm just going to do some more sitting for a couple minutes here. Just going to sit and be presence, really feeling balance. Feeling the space in between all of these perceived separate polarized energies, all these perceived negatives and positives and thises and that's, all these different what's different, really, just really feeling that the energy of that positive and negative relies on the belief that there's only one center, only one fulcrum. When we clearly experience a space of infinitely multiple fulcrums, multiple centers, multiple resting places. Every point in this perceived space is a resting place. Really allowing the space and the feel for even as things come up in our world that feel polarized, allowing us to feel those things and isolate them separate from the energy that activates the polarized feel of it, and just experience these things, these choices, these feelings separate from the perceived opposites, from the perceived separates, from the perceived negatives and positives. Every thought, feeling, experience, choice, all of this is its own experience, its own thought, its own feeling, its own experience, its own fulcrum. That's what I'm feeling. Feeling the balance. Feeling the fulcrums. You're a fulcrum too. You're a fulcrum, I'm a fulcrum, they're a fulcrum. All of us are fulcrums. The resting point on these levers, these perceived levers that maybe what we see is these levers really aren't even levers. Maybe we're just a bunch of fulcrums, just a bunch of resting points, just a bunch of balance points. Who knows? It's fun to feel though, fun to experience. Thanks for being here. I love you.